FlowChat connector. What's happening? Sean here, back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Today, we're going to talk about something really special. In fact, we're going to talk about this. Have you ever wanted to use NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, in your high-ticket sales language patterns? Well, today I'm going to share a very powerful technique called pacing and leading. You're not going to want to miss this one. Stay tuned. Yeah, what's up, FlowChat Connector? Sean here, back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Don't forget, Thursdays are the best days for prospecting and closing deals. So if you're not closing deals and you're not prospecting, get your ass out there and go do it, right? Because that's what we need to do. Anyway, today we're going to dive into something that's really, really powerful. It's using NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, in high-ticket sales. This one technique here is a very simple technique for anyone to catch on to and use. And I've been studying this stuff for a long time. In fact, I have a coach that teaches me this stuff all the time. And so I wanted to start sharing it with the world because I feel like it's super valuable. So let's just jump right into it. So I'm actually gonna make my screen a little bit bigger. We're gonna run through a couple of slides today. So let's talk about pacing and leading, right? A doorway to unconscious persuasion. And please, if you have any comments, drop them below. This is a conversation and not a one-way street. I'm a little here on this. Of course, if you disagree. So what is pacing and leading, right? So pacing and leading, it gives you a doorway to unconscious persuasion, meaning you can actually speak with, Freud. You remember Sigmund Freud? He's one of the greatest psychologists in history, like most known or prominently person. And he created this thought process of like your mind is similar to an iceberg where you have your conscious mind and that kind of controls your day-to-day thoughts, the stuff that you can control with your emotions. And then underneath that, you got the subconscious mind. And then you've got this other part, which is a lot of people talk about the primal brain, but it's the unconscious mind. It's the mind where it just automatically fires when you want it to go. And using neuro-linguistic programming is all about the science of how do we communicate directly with the unconscious mind without the conscious mind or the subconscious mind even knowing about it. And that's what some people call it sneaky or tricky, but it's not really, right? It's just using good language patterns to get people to take actions that are going to benefit them. Remember, always for good, never for evil. That's what I always preach. But pacing and leading, when you make statements that are absolutely true, your prospect will unconsciously build agreement with you. Very simple, right? So if you say, hey, this cup has a red heart, I know that you look at this red cup with a red heart and you're like, yes, that's absolutely true. Same point. You're looking at slides that have black writing and a white background with a blue picture. This is a true statement, right? So whenever we're in the sales conversation, all we have to do is trickle in to start the pace, right? So pacing is where you start with the true statements and then we move on to leading. When you pace correctly, your prospect will agree. Remember, the cup is red, it has a red heart on it. And then when you pace correctly, your prospect will agree with you and then you need to add something you want them to believe to be true and they will start to move in that direction. That's the leading part of this. So this is where we do the thought implant into the unconscious mind. And so let's go a little bit deeper because I just want to get really, really specific for you. So the technique guideline, right? A couple of things you got to remember. The power of three. Let's remember the power of three. I'll say it one more time. The power of three, meaning let's use two pacing statements, one leading statement. That's how this one technique works. And again, very simple. Use two statements that are absolutely true. And you can use this anywhere in your sales conversation. I'm going to give you an example of the bonding and the rapport part of your sales conversation. You can use it in finding the problem that you solve for them. You can use it in getting budget from them. You can use it in how they make buying decisions or even closing deals, right? So you can use this technique anywhere. I just want to shower it onto you so you know exactly what it is, how it works. So use two statements that are absolutely true. And then we come over the top and we add the idea you want to implant and get them to believe. That's it. Super simple, super straightforward, something that you can deploy today. Let's get real with an example. Bonding with a prospect, okay? So let's break this down. Here, I'll just read it for you so you know if you're listening on audio, this is what it says. If you're reading, you can read. I'm so happy you booked this call and showed up for the meeting today because it means you're serious about growing your business. Now, if that's the conversation that we're going to have, fantastic. Okay. So how do we break this down? First, what is the first true pace statement that we have in this example? I'm so happy you booked this call. Again, remember, the cup is red. It has a red heart on it. I'm so happy you booked this call. Act happy. If you're not happy, what the hell are you doing? Right? So I'm so happy you booked this call. Statement, true statement number one. They can't deny that because it's true, right? That's the first one. Second one, and you showed up for this meeting. That's a true statement. We're talking on the Zoom together or on the phone or whatever, right? So this is the second true statement, the pace statement. So pace 1, pace 2, and then what do? Unconscious implant. Because it means you're hungry and serious about growing your business. Now, we don't know if that's true as a sales professional. The prospect is the only one that can actually tell us if that's true or not. But if that's what we want them to believe, and that's the place we need to put them during the sales conversation, that's what we need to implant in their mind, okay? Very powerful stuff, very simple to execute. I think you guys get the point. Remember, it's the rule of 3, okay? The reason we choose 3 is because the majority, again, it's like a 90-10 or an 80-20 rule where like 80 or 90% of the world works in the rule of 3. There's going to be the outliers that need like more than 2 pacing statements, but for the majority of time, if you want to execute this really, really well, just do 2 pace statements, 1 lead statement, and you'll knock it out of the park. Okay. And the only thing that I'm going to share with you is this, like, as we kind of come to a close today, is remember that this stuff is so powerful. This is something that can totally change your world in your game. And so only for good, never for evil. That's what I always say. Right? Why? Because we aren't going to be like the Wolf of Wall Street and go rip people off for selling penny stocks and go to jail for hundreds of millions of dollars and be there forever. It doesn't make sense. Like, you're not that person. I'm not that person. So don't be that person. This stuff is so powerful. You can use it anywhere and any time for anything. So with that said, guys, you've just been tuned up. I hope this one was valuable. If you like the NLP and high ticket sales conversation, please drop a comment, share that like button, smash that thing out so we can feed the algorithm gods, get this out to more people, because I know this particular move works very, very well. I use it all the time. You should start using it as well. With that said, you've just been tuned up. There's a FlowChat connector inside of each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see you next time.